Eddie, we heard there Anthony Joshua. It seemed like an Anthony Joshua that wants to do damage. Is that the best version that we see?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. Look, there's been a lot happen in his life. I think he goes into this fight with a huge amount of purpose on many different levels. And I think with a huge amount of intent as well, you know, to beat this guy and to do it in style. I think he liked what he heard today because, you know, he wanted someone that's going to come and just talk it up a little bit and tell him what he wants to do. And Prenga's saying all the right things. He's a dangerous man. You know, it's like you can't just go in against a big puncher like this and just not get it right. He's got to get it right. He should be beating people like Prenga. I believe he'll knock him out in style. And when he does, it will lead ourselves to a huge build-up for the Tyson Fury fight.
After the Usyk fight the other week, does he have to go in there and put on a dominant display in that he can't go rounds with a guy who's perceived to not be on his level and he has to dispatch of him?
Yeah, but I mean, the reason that we say he's not on the level is because he's never fought anyone at the level. So you actually only find out. It's a bit like Rico the other week, you know. I mean, I thought he had absolutely no chance. I mean, I'd give this guy probably more chance than I would have given Rico going into this fight. They're all dangerous. And this isn't just a former kickboxer. This is a guy with 20 wins and 20 knockouts. So he knows his way around a ring. He's a good fighter. Just because he's never fought anyone at elite level, how good is he? We don't really know. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces. But maybe, like Keith said, maybe it's a bad pick. But you've got to fight someone. On one hand, it's an easy fight. On the other hand, why have you picked a guy that's never been the distance because he's knocked out all his opponents? You've got to fight someone. And if you can't beat this guy, you're not going to beat Tyson Fury.
Eddie, with Tyson Fury fight kind of set for the end of the year, is it important for AJ to use it as a motivator rather than a distraction, obviously, going into this fight?
Do you know, this is the first time I've actually heard him talk about the future rather than just one fight. Like, he's talking about fighting Prenga, then I'm fighting Tyson Fury, then I'm going to try and fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. So he's his confidence is sky high, and a lot of that comes through Usyk and the team there and his preparation. I've always said AJ's confidence comes through preparation, not through bluffing himself, and he feels good.
Is there any news on the undercard for this fight?
No, we're going for it tonight. It will be announced this week.
Eddie Hearn, obviously Anthony Joshua mentioned at Tyson Fury's fight that he is the landlord.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, Eddie Hearn, what makes Anthony Joshua the landlord of the heavyweight division, and where does that confidence come from?
Because everybody else in existence has got to pay the rent. It's true, because he's a king. He's the king of the division. He's the king of boxing. Like, you know, and people hate it. Some people are like, oh, what? Like, the reality is, this guy is the biggest star in boxing. This guy is the guy that put heavyweight boxing on the map. This guy is the guy that put British boxing back on the map. And by the way, he's not asking for any thank you. I'm just telling you, because I know the business and I know what he did for the sport. And having him back and having him competent and having him with a chance of beating the best heavyweights is great news for all of us. It makes us all more money, right? We all owe Joshua the rent. So we don't want it, he doesn't want it financially, but let's just pay homage to the guy that, you know, I don't think half of you guys here today would be where you are in this sport without Anthony Joshua. I wouldn't be where I am now in boxing without Anthony Joshua. So let's give him his respect and credit and know that this guy is training harder than he's ever trained before. He wants it more now than he's ever wanted it.
Eddie, you got any idea who Fury's warm-up opponent is?
Yes, I do.
Any clue?
I'm not telling you. It's not my place to say.
Box Bros UK here. If Fury, because he's supposed to be having a fight, he's supposed to be having a fight a week after AJ's fight or something. If he loses that, have you got a backup opponent in mind?
No, listen, the reality is, if either fighter loses this fight, that fight's off.
No, but have you got a backup opponent for if Fury loses, AJ wins, have you got a backup for AJ? No,
but he'll probably fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, AJ can walk into any fight for the World Heavyweight Championship whenever he wants because of the size of his profile. But we want to go in there to win it rather than just to make up the numbers. And that plan for us is perfect. Prenga, Fury, World Heavyweight Championship.
Eddie, Dana's got a show down in Bournemouth this weekend. Does it diminish it if he doesn't turn up to his own event?
He's coming, isn't he? I've heard he's coming. But the good news is, if you buy a VIP ticket, you get to meet some wrestler as well, and which is incredible. I mean, that's really good. Actually, Scott Hamilton, who works for me, his friend entered a competition to win a ticket for the show. They sent him 10, so it's obviously going really well. And listen, let's see what it looks like.
He talks about his body of work. Do you expect that to improve over the year?
It's fucking hilarious. Let's just look at my body of work. What is the fucking body of work, right? Can anybody understand? Do you know what month it is today?
June.
June. We're 6 months in. We're halfway through the year. Can anybody tell me what Zuffa has done in the first half of the year? So far, the body of work should be in a fucking body bag. It's that bad. It's fucking... You like that one, Gunman, don't you?
I'm going to nick that one.
Yeah, but that's the reality. And no one... And listen, hopefully you guys... I mean, I can't ever imagine him doing a huddle like this. But if he does, just, guys, come on. Give yourself some integrity into your journalism and just ask him a couple of questions on the bullshit that he talks. Are you happy so far with your first 6 months body of work? Because let's be honest, it's fucking abysmal.
Did he get back to you over the Aspinall offer?
No, not yet. But like, I'm just saying, like, because what he said was when Conor Benn signed, he said, you should be happy for these fighters to earn more money. Well, great. Tom Aspinall's contract is an absolute disgrace. I will pay him probably 5 times more, but at least 3 times more. Let him go.
Eddie, could we see Aspinall? Obviously, you've got a good working relationship with MVP. Obviously, they've got Francis Ngannou on their last show.
I mean,
massive fight.
Listen, the reality is that Tom Aspinall, when you look at the UFC right now, whether you like it or you don't like it, he is one of the top stars. He's the world heavyweight champion, and him against Alex Pereira, or Gain in a rematch, is one of the biggest fights that can be made in UFC. I'm not even going to tell you the money that's in his contract, but you'd actually vomit on the floor if I told you. You'd feel that bad for Tom Aspinall. And Tom Aspinall's not really the kind of guy. He's not even going to kick and fuss. I'm just saying to him, mate, and this isn't about us breaching our contract. This is about a sensible conversation to say this is not fair. So you need to come correct or let him go. And that's the reality, because like I said, Pereira against Aspinall is a massive fight. But if we are released from the contract, absolutely open to working with MVP. And Ngannou against Aspinall is a record breaker in the UK, by the way. So, but again, this is just about being fair and being straight up. This ain't even about being clever. But these guys are so disrespectful, they can't even bring it upon themselves to go, do you know what? That number's. Listen, we can't. Yeah, honestly, I'm sure it will come out in time, but it is baffling.
And Sharky Foster facing up with Shakur Stevenson. Does that kind of open the door for you to work with Shakur? Obviously?
No, Shakur's signed with Zuffa, so that'll be him moving forward. But I just don't know who they're going to put him in with, because you see, Zuffa are paying as a business, they're paying these guys 5 times more than anybody else would pay them. To fight who? Like, who are you going to put Shakur? You can put Shakur in with O'Shaki Foster and give him $15 million? I mean, good luck to Shakur. I love him. I said to him, fucking great, mate. But yeah, it's a weird model, and it's a model that's not going to last very long.
Does that mean Shakur's motivation for the sport and being at the best has gone?
No, I think he'll want to be the best, but I think you get told all different things. They're probably saying to him, you're going to fight Haney, you're going to fight this guy, you're going to fight that guy, and yeah, I think Shakur is a legacy guy, but for now maybe he gets to win one of those beautiful Zuffa belts.
Anthony Joshua said that he's open to a fight with Moses Tam, which I think that's probably someone who'd be in his way to future undisputed.
If you want to be world heavyweight champion again, there's a very good chance you're going to have to fight Moses Tam, because I think he's going to be world heavyweight champion at some point. So whether AJ, once he beats Fury, whether he fights whoever, he'll want to fight whoever's champion. If Moses has a belt, he'll fight it. If Dubois got a belt, he'll fight it. It won't be an issue. He's never ever ducked one fight, AJ. He will fight anybody.
Conor Benn, Ryan Bossy, it seems like it's going to be announced. What do you make of that fight? Is there any sort of thing going on in the background with yourselves and Conor Benn?
Yeah, there's still a lot of legal questions that need answering, and we'll deal with that appropriately. But in terms of that fight, I think it's a good fight. I don't think it's a big fight in America. I think it's a big fight in the UK. Obviously, Ryan's a big star in America. Conor's not. Ryan's a bigger star in the UK than Conor is in America, and Conor's a big star in the UK. So, yeah, I don't think it's a fight that's going to do massive numbers, but I like the fight. I think it's exciting. I think at 147, Ryan's a big fight. I don't think Conor should be fighting at 147. I think, I like him up at 160 or up towards that weight class, but I don't see a way he beats Ryan Garcia at 147.
What about Eddie? For Fury versus AJ? Dana says he's going to be part of it, Ben Schlam's throwing himself into...
Oh yes, definitely, yeah.
Can that be contractually, that be stated so that someone can come in?
How if it's in the contract that they
Like
can't?
with DAZN, AJ was exclusive to DAZN, but he ended up on Netflix. Can that be something that
Only because we did a deal with DAZN to give him a load of money.
So could a deal come from Dana or whoever to? No.
Is there a chance Turkey Al Sheikh stirring the pot and telling Dana he's promoting? And
of course, Turkey Al Sheikh loves to stir every pot. I mean, he gives old Dickie 500 reals and tells him to, I don't know, make a joke about Eddie. Like, it's just he loves it all. He loves the stuff between me and Dana. I text Turkey the other day after my interview with IFL. I sent it to him. I said, make the fight. Make the fight. And he wants to make the fight.
Chance for 5v5 with Dana one day in the future?
He's got no fucking who against? Fucking Ryan Rizicki and Chris Billum Smith. There's only one 5v5. It won't even be a 5v5. It'll be more like a 7 or an 8 V8, and that'll be the Queensbury one that's coming in October or November this year, and it will be a fucking blockbuster, and we will beat those motherfuckers this time.
We saw your debate with Froch. He's saying that this fight isn't as big as Eubank Ben and his fight with Rose. What's your thoughts?
But how can you have a debate with Froch? I mean, actually, I really enjoyed it. I sat down with him. I said, this is the biggest fight in British boxing history. No, it's not. I said, all right, what's a bigger fight in British boxing history than Fury AJ? Me v Groves. I'm like, Carl, how can I have a sensible conversation with you? Don't get me wrong, it was a big fight. You can't put it on the level. This is this is going to break all records. The whole country will stop. Front page, back page, complete sellouts. This is going to be, and hopefully we go into that fight with two great performances from Fury and AJ.
Did you see Jake Paul's comments about the Usyk versus Verhoeven show? I think he said something along the lines of Matchroom show's gone too long and basically criticised it for that. I just wonder if you saw those comments.
He was texting me at the time. He texted me when, can you hurry up and put the fight on? There was an issue with the screens, and we wanted to get the screens right for the ring walk, so it took about an extra 15 or 20 minutes. So I replied, and Turkey actually grabbed my phone and sent him a voice note on my Instagram direct messages. But yeah, it was a little bit too long. I think 20 minutes too long, but we wanted to make sure that the ring walk among the pyramids was one that
Eddie Hearn
was worthy.
Also, over the last 6 months, you put on some fantastic shows, really. Over the course of the 6 months, what has been some of the things that you sort of learned about, obviously, your stable fighters, and what can the fan expect to come in the next 6 months?
That you don't always win. I mean, look, we had Andy Cruz lost against Murataya, Nunes lost against Navarrete. The 2 nights ago, Ray Ford lost against Foster. The big one for us coming up, or two really, is Bam against Vargas next week. And obviously they're both my fighters, but if Bam wins, he'll fight Nair Inoue, which is the big, I mean, I've got the 2 biggest fights in boxing. Joshua against Fury, Bam against Inoue. They're the 2 biggest fights in boxing. Bam's got a tough fight against Vargas next week. If he wins that fight, he will fight Inoue, in my opinion. And also another fight 2 weeks after that, which is Boots against Xander Zayas. If Boots does to Zayas what I believe he will, boxing will have a new superstar.
Eddie.
Yo, gun man.
Yes, my man, you are looking teed up from the feet up.
Thank you, mate.
The model professional, ready to do business in any corner of the continent. Now listen, the Fury Joshua fight has taken an absolute age to make. Michael Jackson still had an afro when you first started talking about that fight. Do you actually think it's going to happen, or is there a little bit of nerves until that first bell goes?
Yeah, the only way it can't happen is if one of them loses. They're both signed. So we know that that's sometimes possible in boxing, but at the same time, if they don't win these respective fights, they're not good enough, and they shouldn't be in the ring with each other, because I know that these guys can punch and everybody's dangerous, but AJ's got to be beating Prenga, and Fury's got to be beating whoever he fights in August as well. So I'm very confident this fight's happening. It's the first time in history they've